So, made it home, uneventful, no issues. About 220 miles is how far we had to go get this each direction. So I figured I'd turn the camera on, we'll just kind of take a better look at it. I apologize for any wind noise ahead of time. I tried a couple of things on the camera to try to muffle it, but it doesn't seem like it works very well. So the front tire goes flat, probably in a couple of hours. And for good reason. There's not much meat left on that guy as far as not turning ill due to the sunlight. Back ones look like they're a set of snowblower tires that are on there temporarily. Doesn't look like the bolt pattern's quite the right size neither. But it has the right size rims in it. There they are. And I would probably think the front tire is the same thing. Eight-inch, 570 by 8. Yeah, that won't hold air very good now, would it? So I'm kind of thinking for the back tires, more of like a snowmobile trailer type of tire, the fatter ones. But we'll worry about that when we come to the point to get there. Engine is either 18 or 22 horse. Somebody wrote that if the spark plugs are up high, it's a 22. If it's low, it's 18. So I think this is 18 horse. I think that's the way it went. But then again, I'm a bit dyslexic, so I may have screwed that up. The motor does turn. I kind of like the look of the engine with the exposed fins and all. My thought, possibly, is to maybe switch this thing over to a different power plant and use this power plant for something else, but that's getting way ahead of ourselves. It is a, I think we came across and said it was a 78. Does it say 4? I think it says 478 right there. These things probably run 45 miles an hour. I don't think I want to do much more than that. It's pretty complete. Someone was asking, I said everything but the air cleaner, and we did find the air cleaner, the other half for it. I think it's in it somewhere, or it fell out of it, one of the two. Looks like it's pretty much like a tube chassis, all down low. It has like this 2-inch tubing that the frame is made out of. Not sure. It looks like almost like a VW setup with the engine and then the transmission right behind it with a clutch. You guys can see down inside there. That's the clutch. See if we can get under it. And there's the transmission. See a brake on the drive shaft. I don't know if that is for the parking brake or if that's the actual rear brakes. Muffler's a little non-existent. Looks like it uses kind of like a heater box or something too. I see this, the vent on top of it. That might be where the fan sucks the heat from, kind of like a VW also. And it kind of looks just like a regular differential, which makes kind of good for modifying. I believe it's got drum brakes on the back too, so that's probably just the parking brake, and you figure if it's used as a meter maid vehicle, it's constantly getting, you know, popped, moved up, brake put on, brake taken off, so it's probably got a fairly stout emergency brake system. Body's pretty decent, doesn't look too banged up. A little dent in the front right there. A little crusty, a little rusty, but I kind of like that if it stays being used for that. It's like a hit right there too. Big old trunk, a spare Honda CT front end for parts, which you never know, controls and switches and stuff. That's kind of good. I think he said the one bike that I got was missing something, and it's on here also. So I think if he said that tag. But again, all the other little bits and pieces are good too that you don't have. And he hooked us up with a, he being Harvey Spooner, a long, it's going to be Pook or Pooch Magnum seat. And the bike that I have is not a Magnum, but I like to put a long seat on it. So that might play us out very well. That'll be on a different video. We'll go back to that. That's still in process. And it's street legal. It's registered as a motorcycle. I think I'll have to probably cover up. It says police. I don't think I'll be riding around with that. That might be an issue. Oh, there's the air cleaner right there. So I want to kind of contemplate on this guy a little bit and think what I want to do with it. But I have ideas already, so we'll see how certain stuff kind of comes together to build something. Let's see what that's got for front end suspension. It's like a shock in the front and a spring in the back. Yeah, it looks like you should be able to tweak it, lift or lower it, probably right there. I see juice brakes in the front. You got that hydraulic line. It does look like it's going to be the same rim. Looks like it might be a little bit of a pain in the ass to get out of there though. In the back of the truck we have a couple of CT90s. I believe this one's a 65 and the other one is a 68 or 69. This one is closest to us is much more complete, and I have just to do something to this one, and this one's going back to Harvey. It is looks like it was painted with house paint or spray bomb of like a burgundy color, brown to burgundy. It looks like he tried wet sanding some of it off, and it looks like it's coming off to get back to the original look of it. Well, that one will be leaving me again. And then there is this one, which will be staying. And this is looks like it's got original paint on it, but it's missing a bunch of pieces, and the top end's gone. I don't know if the motor still turns or not. Might be jammed in the forward position anyway. So that motor looks a little on the tired side. The chassis of it's pretty good. The problem is I think it's going to be so expensive to put it together that we may have to wait for another bike to kind of donate and put the two of them together. Someone's saying that they had a bunch of parts for one of these. If you think you have stuff to help build this, feel free to let me know, and kind of like what the costs are. But it's definitely missing the top end. I don't know if the motor's good or not, and it has the 2-speed high and low trans, or had it, and it is missing all the guts for that. It would have been right where that rear shaft is sticking out. Would have been a high-low range. See the lever down below it. And then something's missing on the mag cover in the front, whether they just took the cover off or it's not functioning, or not quite sure what the deal is with that. So, but the price is right. I kind of wonder if we can just register it and we just stuff a hole 6.5 horse motor with a CVT trans or something, and kind of fabricate from there. Maybe hang that down below, but we'll see. We'll put that in the shed where the tent garage where the moped came out of, and we'll just kind of keep an eye out for what's available in the future for this. Kind of cool looking. Again, they're like on off-road or street legal, but you put on low range, you gotta run them in the trails too, so it's got that option. Missing the exhaust. I'm going in. Figure out where the oil fill is on this thing. Let's see what it's got in it for. Earl. You guys see it? You're not telling me. There it is. Or is that just the fill? That is just a fill, I believe. I want to try cranking it without any. Know what we got for juice in it, you know? Alright, let me poke around a little bit, see if I can go find where that is. Because I was right next to it. You guys weren't helping me. You weren't telling me. Alright, one of you did. I heard you. It's got clean oil in it. I'm going to wipe that puppy off and check it again. Let's go get ourselves a battery. And see if we get the crank over and we'll listen to it a little bit. So I got the jumper pack hooked to the solenoid and then just grounded on the body. If I figure I flip the switch, if the starter's going to get it, should crank. And we'll just take a listen to it and kind of see how it sounds for compression. And hopefully it's in neutral. Not that it's going to start, but yeah, just arced. We're going to play this game. Yeah, it's not engaging. So it will crank. I think I don't have a key for it for the ignition switch. I might be able to pull that down and take a look at it, but I might just put a jumper to the the coils and run power to them, and we'll see if we get any spark to the spark plugs, and then we'll know if it has the capacity of blowing some dead mice out of the exhaust. So that doesn't look all that fancy. I do see a cut wire there, and then there was another one somewhere that was looks like it was unscrewed. I think it got sucked up into the there it is. So there's that guy that got wants to hide is what it wants to do. There it is. That guy right there has been disconnected, but that might have been for some kind of police lights or something. So I do not have a key for this, but what I figure I would do is we could probably just punch the center of the lock right out of it, considering I don't have a key, and we'll probably replace it with like a tractor setup. I'm sure if I look close enough, you could probably read it. It'll probably say accessory starter and you know, that kind of thing. You figure the main one in is your power. One of these are going to be your power in, and one of these are going to be maybe power out to accessory, and then it'll be, I'm gonna say, actually, when you think about it, so this is probably power in a fuse box, and one's power in and one's gonna be power in a fuse box, and then they all seem to go to the same place. I would probably say maybe ignition will be the top one. hurt if I follow some leads back. But again, there's no sense in saving that lock anyway, so maybe we'll just rip into that guy, see what we got. Let's see if we can punch that ignition out. I always wanted to steal a cop car. That's just the whole thing turning. Now I'm gonna have to punch the center of it out. Might be better off drilling it. It's kind of crumbling away as I pick at it. Looks like it's doing its best to separate. Guys probably can't see nothing. I bet you this is blocking you. Get the drill. Bust those tumblers out of there. I'd suck as a locksmith, huh? How about we step it up? All else fails. Hit it with a bigger screwdriver. I think I'm going to get a uni bit. I'll drill some of the metal out of it, and then we'll have a better shot at getting the guts out. So only hurt a minute. Yeah. Now hopefully we can kind of get down to the bottom of that and turn something inside there. Let's see if we can kind of get anything out of it. Help me turn the battery on. It's already in crank. I got the starter hooked to the maybe it's all the way on. That. Yeah. As soon as I go to power to the battery, it's turning. Is that off? Go the other way. I bet the switch is collapsed internally and it's making contact. Some hack went in there with a drill and screwed it up, and that's what happened. Because you can feel the positions turning. Back to plan A. So, here's where I am. The battery pack's off right now. And I have all the wires except for one removed from the ignition switch, because every time I went to go turn the pack on, the starter went to go. Now, watch this. It still wants to go do that with no wires connected. Yeah, you take the last wire off, it's not going to make any difference. So, it does not have a problem with the switch. It probably has the solenoid is stuck in the on position, not the off position, is the only thing I can think of, because my other half of my power is coming down this wire to this side of the switch. Something's telling this to latch, or it's already latched, and then it goes out to the starter. So, well, that's weird. We gotta go and figure out then what is going to make power to the coils. And then that should really be all it needs to go and start, I believe. if the points and all that kind of stuff are good. So let's go and buzz out the wires here. I want to find out which one of these wires needs to see 12 volts so that the coils come alive. Or I could just jump them right at the coils, but I figure we'll kind of go do it this way and see what happens. That's a little recap of where I am. I disconnected the main power lead going to the starter so it doesn't crank. And anytime I tried hooking any wire up on the switch, it was cranking. So it's feeding back to another part of the circuit to go and power. It's getting power to the solenoid, feeding back to one of the little wires. So I just disconnected that for crank altogether. If I want to crank, I just put power to here, I can get the crank. So what I want to focus on was trying to get spark. So what I did was try to figure out how this coil setup was done. It's got 2 coils, and it's got a jumper in the middle from across the 2 points. So it's not like they're in parallel, they're actually in series. So what I've come to figure out is this end is power in. They jump it across the 2 of them, and then this side is the points, the on-off signal or the ground going to the points. So I surmise what it is, those are 2 6-volt coils, and they're just running them in series. And then of course, you know, you have the points fire on this side. So I took my test light, this is the lead that would be coming from the points, and I hooked that to power, and I should get the light to flash on and off of if I'm getting a good signal coming from the points. I am not getting that. I do not get anything happening from the points. So wherever they are corroded and not sending a signal to those. So what I did was now is I just put a jumper on the what would be the negative side of that one coil, and just kind of, you can see where I'm kind of drawing sparks. Find a better spot. See that? And if you see that, I don't know if that's showing up. You can see I can get it to make spark at that spark plug wire. So I have to try to figure out where the points are in this thing. If they are down in behind this flywheel, I am probably going to wait till I get this thing in the garage to go do what I need to do as far as getting to those, because it's too much to do on the trailer. It looks like the exhaust is in the way and some other stuff. So if I can find a little access cover with a little push rod tube going to a set of points, good. If not, then I'm gonna wait on it. So I'm gonna kind of wrap it up on this one, guys. Again, the issue is not having any spark, and it does not have any signal coming from, I believe it probably is a 78, so I would figure it would have points and condenser. And so nothing is coming on this wire. Should be a ground and open signal as the engine spins, and it does not have that. The way I tested that, by the way, is I put a test light on it. Here's the test light. It just goes to the hot on the battery or the jumper pack, whatever you're using, and that light should flash on and off as it makes ground, because the other end, of course, is now to positive, and I am not getting anything on that. So without that, we're not going to get any spark, and we're not going to get any spark at the correct time, you know. So unfortunately, I was kind of hoping to get it to run, but I actually wasn't even planning on playing with it this far. So having said that, maybe we'll make for a little suspense for the next video. But I want to thank all you guys for watching, commenting, and subscribing. The engine is a 2-something, whatever that says right there. A 2-something engine. It's a 710 cc, which is a fairly decent size. So, till next time, thanks guys. I'll catch you. See ya. Alright, it was bugging me. I had to come back out. I'm wondering if this guy with the wire coming out of it is like a distributor. Not quite sure how that bail comes off of there. Something like that. Ha! Wonders never cease. Well, there's your problem. You feel like they're kind of, they smell kind of burned up. It's got a kind of a toasty kind of smell. So those are never going to close because they have no balls to them whatsoever. So I wonder if maybe we can take them out of there. see if we can bend that spring a little bit and give it some balls, because it just does not. There's just nothing there. Ha! At least we found them though. All right, so here's where we are. I'm in the distributor. I have the test light is hooked to 12 volts. So there's 12 volts on this end, not ground. And I'm checking for ground. So this is my points firing, and they should be making me a signal on and off. Watch, like if I go to ground, wherever the light lights up. So that's what should be coming out of here as the points open and close. As you can see, I got nothing. Nothing. But if I touch the points themselves, you can see I do. So I lost the connection right here between right where this white plastic is, and this white plastic is an isolator, an insulator. Well, I have a feeling it probably cooked at some point in its life and caused that to melt, and is open between those two. So I gotta just take that apart, make it so that connection can work. That should then make it so that I have spark out there, ground signal rather, out there, like I do here. So gotta go in a little further. So I got that kind of pulled apart there. You can see the points on it. They don't look terribly dirty, although I did hit them with a file already. But where the problem is right there. You can kind of see how that rivet's really loose. That's where it was losing its contact. You can see how much it burned in between there. So this can't touch ground, or else it'll be grounded all the time. And I also gave it more of a tweak right here. So this thing got kind of grounded out and burned up at some point in its life. We'll get new ones, but for now, we're still trying just to get it, see if it hit the fire. So I'm gonna go and crimp that, probably with a pair of pliers or something, and see if we can get a little tighter fit on that. We'll see if we can put her all back together and get a little bit of spark out of it. And you'll need both points and condenser, but again. All right, now when I fire the points, so you know what that means, don't you? You need to go get some fuel. Hopefully you have a view. I got the throttle open. I got a bottle of premix 50-to-1, and hopefully the hose goes down into the intake far enough where it kind of gives it something to work with. But I think we should be able to give it a squirt, and possibly it may fire and run, possibly. So as long as you got a battery, I guess. Let's go give it some of that. Let's see what happens. You have to spin faster than that. Close. Wants to go. I lost my power going to my coil. There we go. I have to get a real car battery out of this too. I think I might just be drawing too much. One more time. Let's give it another shot of love juice and see what happens. So close we can taste it, right? I gotta get a better battery. Let's see what's on this. Yeah, the battery's run down. Well, we got a battery charger and hooked up to the jumper pack. Let's see how that kind of does for us. So I didn't put any more fuel in it. Spent about 5 minutes of just screwing around. I need the starter power lead. Let's see if this will give her cranking. Problem is the hose is holding the throttle open too much, and I tried to get it out of there. All right. Can we do that again? But I was trying to baby the gas, give it some gas while it was keep it running, you know. But I don't want it screaming like that. That's a good sign. Let's go and open the throttle again. Give it a little as it all just pours out. Let's see, can we use the center of that for some support? Yeah. Alright, now we need the power lead again. And a third hand is what I really need. Aha! Got no spark. Hold on. Everything is quite badly rigged here. What do I need to do now? I need to crank the starter again. Let's try that again. And we're out of gas. What I would say that is a success. Awesome. Turn all the power off everything. So I ran it till I just ran the fuel out of the bottle, and we were able to keep it running. Of course, you know, the carb needs to be serviced and everything, I'm sure. But so far so good. Of course, you know, the wiring's a mess. I'll go online, we'll get a wiring diagram for that. We'll get all this stuff kind of straightened out. Just use a Ford relay for the starter, and I'll order a set of points and condensers, and that should get it so that at least we can start it, run it, and move it around, yard drive it is the kind of goal I want to get to, so I'm not having to worry about pushing this thing, which is quite large, around and out of the way. So now, guys, I would like to say farewell for now. Again, everybody, thanks for watching, comment, subscribing. If you like what you saw, please sub and give me a thumbs up. Later. And going through the stash, looking on eBay, they're about 39 bucks for ignition switches. I'm like, maybe I should go check and see what I have. I found this one. It was new with a broken stud on it, but with no key. And I hunted a little bit further, and I found a brand new one in the package with 2 keys and all the mounting hardware. So again, the hoard pays off.